Welcome to the Tamara Show. Today's guest is a licensed mental health counselor, a woman of God, and the insightful host of the Couch Therapy Podcast, where faith and mental health meet real, honest conversation. She's passionate about helping people heal from the inside out while reminding us that therapy and faith can walk hand in hand. Welcome, Siggy.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for being here. We are going to play a game to get us started.
Okay. So, this is cute. Okay. They send flowers and chocolates to my office on Valentine's Day.
Oh, that's so cute.
That's a green flag. I think
Super
that's cute.
green. Yes.
That's cute.
Okay. Let me do one. Okay. I don't like mine.
Oh.
All right. They work unsocial hours as a doctor, but they earn a lot of money.
Wait, what? They work social hours?
Unsocial. What is that word? What that mean?
Girl, not social?
I guess maybe like an overnight.
Oh.
Maybe they're like midnight to like 8 a.m.
Graveyard shift.
Yeah.
Well,
it's a green and a red. Like,
yeah, I think that sucks. I don't like night shift.
I know. Can we change it at some point in the relationship?
Yeah. Maybe over time, like,
yeah,
they'll be able to go to day shift, because I feel like they're going to be sleeping in the day or most of the day.
They're going to miss all the time.
Yeah.
In the relationship, yeah.
Yeah, okay. All right, let's see. They send me a good morning message every day. Yeah! I don't think that's bad. I know that there's some people who, like, feel like, oh, that could be too much, but it's like, well, what if something happens? Like, and I feel like a good morning, I feel like, I think that's a green flag. I think that's
start
nice.
Off your day strong.
Yeah.
A nice intro. How are you doing?
Yeah.
Beautiful.
How did you sleep? I slept well. Like something.
I love that.
Yeah, I think that's a good one.
Okay. Oh, they have previously been in open relationships. Very red. Very red.
Because I think my first question would be like, why? Like, what attracted you to that kind of arrangement? And then my second question would be like, are you now going to be able to be monogamous? Like, like, how is that adjustment? Am I going to be your first monogamous relationship after your polyamorous life? Like, I don't know. Like, I wouldn't want to be the first. I don't know. I think that's red. They have or want to visit Disneyland as an adult. I am that adult. I want to do that. I love Disneyland. I feel like it's good to kind of keep that youthfulness, in you. And I think that's, if you don't, I feel like if you're so against, I don't know, kind of childish things, like I feel like we wouldn't mesh. Because like I can be a little childish, a little funny,
Yeah, you got to.
So
that's the only way you keep things fun and exciting.
Exactly. You have to go into Disneyland as an adult, like
that's lit.
Yeah, that's lit. Especially how Epcot is.
I heard I think it was Kobe Bryant and his wife. They went to Disneyland for their first date. Yeah. I mean, obviously he's Kobe Bryant, so he could have did that. But that's cute.
That's a cute first date.
Even if it's like a 10th or 20th, I don't know, but it's still cute.
I think that's real cute. That's a good idea.
Yes. Okay. They've already planned their dream wedding down to the flowers and the venue. This sounds like every girl I know.
No, that's why I'm laughing, because I feel like I have known, most of the details for my wedding for, a good amount of time in my life. So I don't think that's necessarily bad. I think it can be bad or unhealthy if they're not able to shift from like how they might envisioned like their wedding. I think. Because like I think you should be able to find like meet in the middle, be able to compromise on certain things. Absolutely. But if you're like, no, it has to be this season, this color, this. That's it's a partnership.
Yeah, absolutely. But at least you wrote it down and made it plain.
Yeah, exactly. You gotta have the ideas. They ask for my phone passcode. I think if we're not even like established, like we're not boyfriend and girlfriend, not even boyfriend and girlfriend. If we're not engaged, you can't be asking me no numbers to my phone, I think. Now, if we're engaged and we're like, obviously in that trajectory to get towards marriage, I ain't got nothing to hide. I mean, if I feel like it's all right, you want to get into my phone, all right, what are you going to say?
Yeah.
The group chat talking about you. I don't know. No, but
right.
I'm just, yeah, I feel like you can't be asking for passcode if you're
like
not
2
really.
months in.
Yeah, no. Because who are you? Why do you need access to my notes?
True. No, yeah, that's a weird place to
Yeah.
if somebody opens your phone.
And also, I mean, my stuff are Face ID, access anyway. So it's like, what are you gonna access my photos? I mean, cool, but
very true.
And yeah,
very, very true.
Mm-mm.
You know what? You taught me something because I wouldn't have seen that as a red flag. I'd have been like, okay, because I'm just like I'm an open book.
Yeah,
but sometimes I need to take it easy.
Yeah, this is a good game. I gotta get this.
So, who is Siggy? If you had to describe yourself in 3 words,
Oof.
which words would you use?
Okay, I would say I'm a Christian. I'm a confident person, and I feel like I'm courageous. Like I feel like I like to try different things. I like to step out, explore. Yeah, I feel like those are 3 good words for me. I think
that.
so. Yeah.
I love that. So you initially wanted to become an OBGYN.
Yes.
But things changed. So
Lord, it did.
what happened to change the course?
For me, so like I started in human bio, and when I was taking my courses, like it just wasn't getting in. Like it just was not working. Like I was not understanding like the concept, like anything. I feel like I was just always like not passing really. And so I was really frustrated. I was really, of course, depressed and just low because it's like, you're up in college and you're like, Lord, like I know you sent me here, so it's like something, I got to figure something out. So I took this biopsychology and neuroscience class, and when I took that class, it literally opened my mind even more so to psychology. Like I never really thought like to go down this path of psychology and become a therapist, like not as my main job or career. It was just something I'm like interested in a little bit in, but that class really just switched it up for me. So then I took that class, passed it, of course, thank God,
Yes.
and I changed my major to psychology and a minor in Africana studies, and the rest of my college career just was peace. I was passing classes. I was enjoying like the work. It didn't feel as overwhelming. I felt like this is really truly where I was supposed to end up. And I think, everything happens for a reason. I think I did learn a lot of lessons in the early parts. And also it made me realize like not to be like as hard on yourself and realize, you're still growing, you're still evolving. Like our brains are literally, we're still forming at that age. And just to really, embrace, where the direction God is leading you. So it went to that, and I finished school great, and then I was gonna take a year off. I really wanted to take a break, but my Jamaican mother, she encouraged me to just continue on to go into grad school that fall after I graduated, and did graduate school. And for some people, like they found it really like hard and stressful, and I feel like I loved graduate school. I actually found it way easier than undergrad, which is crazy. But I know that it has to be God.
Yes, for sure.
It was just so exciting, just continuing to learn, like how would it be, like as a therapist, like talking to somebody on the couch, like what's, how's it going? So, and it's been great ever since. It's really been a great journey.
For grad school, was it always like a classroom setting, or did you actually do like I don't know the right word for it, but sat with another like clinical therapist to
like, so learn? I did mine like online because I was working full time, so I'm like it's easier for me to do it online than drive over to NYU at night. So it was on Zoom. So there were some courses where we did have to like play the therapist, and then sometimes you had to play like the patient or the client.
Ooh.
So we had to like role swap. So kind of being able to see from the other perspective, like, you know, how is it like just bleeding your heart out, you know, telling this other person, the stranger, like your traumas, your issues, the things that are making you feel fearful or depressed. And I think that also helped me as a therapist kind of understand on the other side how it is, you know, for somebody, you know, opening up. So that's kind of like how the setting was. And then eventually I did like my internship with like actual people and had to be the therapist for them. And even that was really interesting. I had a wide like variety of like clientele. I had some kids, I had adults, I had like elderly folks, and it was like right in COVID, so it was a lot of shifting for those people, you know, in their lives. So it was interesting. It was really good.
Yeah. That's awesome. So, what were some cultural norms you grew up with, but it's actually the opposite of what you've learned as a psychologist?
I feel like in the church, sometimes like that aspect, because it is still a big part of like my life, something I still engage in and serve in. But I think early on it was really you don't tell anybody what issues are going on. You know, you kind of protect that vulnerability, or you don't show that. And I realized going through school, going through graduate school, and like my training, like that's actually really unhealthy. You know, it is okay to tell somebody, you know, even if it's one person, that's not God, you know, what's going on in your life. And I think seeing the importance in that's like building true community. I think when you get used to just having that wall up or being superficial, you're not genuinely having that connection or bond that you truly could have if you were to find the safe spaces to be genuine, to be honest, to be open, and being transparent. You know, everybody's struggling, everybody's going through their different ebbs and flows of life and in their journeys, and some are going great, some are going very, you know, not great. But I think being able to find that community aspect, I think for me, that's what I learned over time. Like, that's true community.
Yeah, absolutely. What is something your mom or dad did that made you feel seen or loved as an adult?
As an adult, I would say I think when it came to starting my podcast, they were like, "Oh, finally!" Like they were just like, "You finally like jumped at it." I think they see me in that space, not just the stuff I do like at church because I am a PK, but like they see the stuff I do outside, like how I am with just people on the street, or I think just pointing out like that was really great that you did that, or I'm so proud of you. I think those, for me, it's like the words of affirmations. I think really helps to build up, you know, inside and make you feel just, you know, seen.
It makes you feel important.
Yeah,
like you did that.
Yeah. You know, maybe catch me and say, yeah, you know, that was actually a good thing. So, yeah, I feel like their words, their and their actions as well. You know, they've been supporting me the whole time with the podcast and really like helping me like build it up. So, yeah, I think that's the big thing in my adult life. Yeah.
We're gonna come back to that podcast.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know, I gotta get back.
So let's just tuck that one in our pocket.
Okay.
But knowing all that you know about behaviors and the mind, do you feel like it's hard for you to date?
That's an interesting question. I don't think it's hard for me to date. I feel like it helps me to date better. I'm not saying that like you have to be a therapist to date better. I feel like for me, it's allowed me to like understand like other people and the certain red flags that I might not have noticed way back versus like now that I can notice.
Right.
So like if somebody or a guy is like rude to people, or they're like really, they just have a lot of anger or resentment that they just continue to carry, or they hold grudges, like realizing maybe I shouldn't, you know, get with that person or date that person seriously if I know that they're struggling in that area. Maybe I can just help them as a friend, or maybe point them in the direction of, you know, another brother or person who could help them.
Right.
I feel like it sometimes can be a crutch in a sense, because I could get into that like psychological part, and I'm just like overthinking and like overanalyzing. So I do have to like check myself on that sometimes, but I don't know. I think it can be a good or bad thing. Like you can look deeper, and sometimes I do see certain things in people that they may not see, and it's like,
True.
that's not necessarily my job right now to analyze them and give them a whole like assessment. Like that's just not what I should do,
Yeah.
and I can just kind of keep it in the back. But it definitely like helps me be aware of like, well, maybe should I continue this? You know what I mean? So
puts you like 10 steps ahead.
Yeah, unfortunately, sometimes like I can get a little too wrapped up in it. It's like, hold on, you know, I don't got to get all, you know, Freud on them. Like, you know, it's just kind of just, I can tell, you know? So, yeah.
That's true. So what are some of your dating non-negotiables?
You got to be a man of God. And like on your own, like,
yes,
your faith is something that you find is important to you. You know God for yourself. You've already have like your relationship in God, like yourself. Not saying that like, you know, like everyone struggles as like Christians, so it's like, or as people in general. But yeah, that gotta be you gotta have your own foundation.
Yes, amen.
You can't be like, I don't know, I think it's like really easy for me now to like pick up on like the whole manipulative kind of behavior. So it's like, if you show glimpses of that, I'm like, that's a red flag, off rip.
Yeah.
If you're a rude person, like I said, like that's I cannot stand somebody who's just rude. Like,
absolutely.
Go to therapy and get help, because you need to work on that anger. You know, you need to work on that like sadness or resentment, whatever it is. Yeah, just a respectful person. Like that's, yeah. Because if you're rude, like that's just bad vibes. Like I can't. I think another non-negotiable, if you don't value community, like if you're just such a solo person, like it's just you on your own, I'm like, no, because I love community. I love my family, love my friends, like my sister and my brothers. Like, I love that. Like, I love this, the unity. So if you're like, so, no, I don't want to do that. I don't want to deal with all the crowd. Like, that just, I don't know. Because I can be like, you know, a little introverted sometimes, but I am like extroverted majority of the time. So it's like, if that's such a no for you, then it's like, all right, well, I'm good.
Absolutely. I agree.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, those are the ones I can think of now.
Why do you think it's important for women to have standards when they're dating?
It's so important. I think if you don't have a standard, then any person who comes, whether it be a relationship or a friendship, when they come around, it's going to really dictate how you are, like how you, whatever boundaries that you have, or like how you visualize yourself as a person. So I think when you have a standard, it's healthy, you know, for you. I know sometimes people can be very like anal with their standards, and like they're just, it has to be that. I think sometimes for some they could, you know, you can fluctuate that more flow, but I think it's really healthy. It's important. You know, you need to know who you are, what you're going to tolerate, what you won't tolerate, what's going to make you like be in conflict with your own values or morals or identity. And if it's doing that, then you have to like you, if you don't have your standards, then you won't know like, oh, this is like actually unhealthy, or this is not benefiting me. So yeah, I think everyone needs to have standards, but especially our ladies, us, like we need to know who we are. You know, we are daughters of the King, so we have to live and treat ourselves really that way, because it starts inside first before. But yeah, I think it's super important.
Absolutely. And you know what? I think we also set the tone. I think a lot of people think men set the tone, like when you first start dating. But I think we do, because if the bar is low, some of them, they be throwing little things out to see if we gonna catch it or not. So if we're like, then they're like, oh no, I can't play with her.
They'll always, I think men do absolutely do that. They want to see like, okay, is she gonna tolerate that? Is she gonna kind of laugh it off? Like I was talking to my friend the other day, and it was like, even with abuse, you know, they may hit you, and it's like, if you don't get, you know, so upset about it, they'd be like, all right, well, that hit was okay. So same thing, like emotionally, you know, whatever he's throwing out, those little things, you got to look out for those flags.
Absolutely.
Because they may look small now. Big girl. Big guy.
That's a fact. What was a situation that you can recall where you were able to see God's hand clearly?
So many times. God is, I would say with my podcast. I would say I feel like when I started off, I'm not cheap, but I feel like there's some things like I could just be really frugal with. So I was like, oh, I can just record, on my phone. Like, all right, whatever, and then just post it up. But I was talking to one of my brothers from church about it after I recorded my first podcast, episode, which was on my phone, and the audio, of course, wasn't clean, wasn't the best. But I was like, all right, whatever. At least I put something out. But I feel like that was really God positioning me and him to be able to connect, and him being able to help me with knowing, okay, what products to get, what interface to order, what cameras, to even think about eventually getting, what mic to have, what headphone, like the whole thing. Yeah. And I feel like that was God really like pushing and like helping, like it was so perfect. And yeah, and I don't have to stress about like, dang, how am I gonna edit these, episodes, because my friend just takes care of it. And I'm like, wow, that was God. Because Lord knows these episodes would have been a little groggy, but, some would have came out,
Right.
But yeah, it was definitely God's hand in having it. And yeah, and he's also allowed me to process like how the recording process is easier than I thought was gonna be. I felt like a little fearful. I was like, dang, like how am I gonna figure this stuff out? Because I'm like, I don't know any of these things, but yeah, he really helped me in figuring out more.
He was able to guide you.
Yeah, girl.
We love that.
I'm telling you, there've been voice memos.
And they're not bad, but
it could be better.
It's not that top quality.
Exactly. Yeah. And it's your craft, right? Like even with yours, like it's you put that investment in, that time in, so it's like you want it to be at the amount of investment that you're putting in. You want it to be at that quality. So
exactly, I agree. What's something that you struggle with?
I think ironically enough, sometimes mindfulness, like just being present. I feel like I preach it, I talk about it, I always say it in sessions, all that. But I feel like for me, I sometimes struggle with, I think, being intentional with how much I practice it. So like you really can just be mindful with anything. Like if you're washing the dishes, you're just noticing you're washing the dishes. Yeah. But I feel like sometimes I can be doing something, but I'm thinking about something else that I have to do, or another task I have to do, or this meeting I have to, be a part of, or this event that I have to go to. And it's like, sometimes you just gotta chill, Absolutely. Sometimes you gotta just center. So like, if I'm going to the museum, like I try to just really be zoned in on the museum. Like I try not to have my phone out. So many times I get like, a quick picture here and there, make it a little lapse, something, but really just be present in it. And I think, it's a practice, it's a muscle that I just have to continue to build. But I think that sometimes I do struggle with like actually implementing it and doing it, because it's like, yeah, I could practice mindfulness, but like, I got to think about this event. I got to think about, this program, this planning, this whole thing. And then you just don't necessarily see like, oh, we have to take time to just settle, myself and get grounded again.
Right. Yeah. I was, a couple months ago, I was painting the steps in my house. Like, okay, forget it. I was painting the steps. While I was painting, I forgot to turn my music on, because I always like have music in the background, but I forgot to turn it on. And it was like so peaceful. When I was done, I was like, oh my God, because like you said, I was present. Yeah. I was in that moment, and I was just focused on that one thing. And I was like, oh my God, like, I feel lighter.
Yeah, 100%. Because even like music, like I usually too like have it in the background, but then sometimes you get distracted, or like you hear a good song and you're like just zoning on the song and you forget the painting or whatever. But yeah, just being able to just really zone in and like focus, and then you feel like kind of just one with whatever you're doing.
Exactly. Yeah. A common phrase we hear is be more gentle with ourselves.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you're gentle with yourself?
I feel like if I could give like a percentage, I want to say like 87% of the time. Okay. I'm like really gentle and like soft. Now, before, might have been like a little 40%, because I used to be like a perfectionist. So it's like, no, you need to have this and this and this. Right. Now, we thank God for growth, and just softening. So yeah, I think like 87% of the time. But the rest, I think sometimes that perfectionism still tries to creep in
Absolutely.
and, be rigid. But yeah, I think I'm soft with myself. I'm softer. I try to have like, a soft girl life and do, make time for self-care and just even like, and I think it's also just how you talk to yourself, how you encourage yourself, what's the verbiage or the language that you're using really makes a difference as well. So that's gotten better, which is good. But yeah, I feel like I'm pretty soft. I'm pretty soft with myself.
Love that.
Yeah.
You give me that vibe.
It's just in my soft girl era,
Hopefully that era is forever.
Okay. So life. Soft girl
Right.
life. Yeah.
So what is one piece of advice that you would give to somebody who is pursuing their dream?
I would say write it down and like post it somewhere. Or even like draw it or like paint it. Like I think like tap
that.
into your creativity but make it something that's visual. So that it's something that every single day you wake up, even if you're not necessarily working towards that dream on that day, it's still something that you know that you want to do.
Yeah.
So I think I encourage like the visualization aspect of it and memorize it, like continue to pray on it, to meditate on it, to even share it, like and be excited about it. And even if somebody, chimes in and says something negative or like tries to be constructive, with it, when you're so grounded and rooted in like, I know that this is going to come true eventually. I know that this is going to happen or these doors are going to happen. Even if somebody does try to chime in, it hopefully shouldn't be something that you internalize. But I think becoming just so in love with it, not idolizing it, of course,
right.
But something that you are appreciating even in the early stages. I feel like sometimes we'll reach a goal and we totally like don't even realize like, wow, this journey that I had. I think being so, I guess, attentive to the journey as well, like and appreciating even the difficulties, even the times when it feels frustrating or like feels like, dang, am I even really getting towards it? I feel like even if it's a small step, it's still a step. So yeah, I think appreciating all the moments, the lessons that you get from it, because eventually it will come. It will happen. The door will happen. The opportunity will come up. But yeah, I feel like make it a visual thing that you see all the time and just continue to believe in it. If you don't believe in your dream,
nobody
else. How can you convince somebody else that it's going to happen? So I think just be in love with it. Not too much, put above everything else, but it's something that you still like, it's a priority as well. Something that you want to invest in on, and you only invest in on something that you care for. So, yeah, doing all those things, yeah.
I love that. Thank you so much, Siggy.
Of course. This was
nice. Awesome.
Yes. Thank you for having me.
Of course. Yes.